Easy, healthy habits that I have done consistently within the past few years that really have stepped up my self care game from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. Immediately, as soon as I wake up, I try to recall all of my dreams. I personally have about 3 to 5 dreams every single night, and my ability to recall them is pretty sharp most of the time. I try to stay off of my phone in the mornings, but I do make an exception for journaling. Once I was able to recall most of my memories of my dreams, I go immediately to the notes of my phone, and then I have a specific sheet in the notes where I have the month, the year, and then dream journal. I do the date, the time, and I just write down all the details I can remember. And then I also do a menstrual journal as well. This is where I record how I slept. So from what time I went to bed, anytime I woke up, in between from the time that I woke up for the day. I write the position that I was in, as well as anything I added during the night. Usually I'll write pillow bolsters because I'll have a pillow between my legs for the structure and stability of my body. And then I also have a pillow that's resting right in front of my body when I sleep on my sides to help just overall with my body. If I sleep on my back, I'll have one underneath my knees to elevate to help with the natural curve of the spine. Side lying is on the sides. Supine, like spine. Supine is laying on your back. I really try to avoid sleeping on my abdomen and my front because having your neck turned to one side like that and your body being straight is really, really harmful for your neck and your spine and overall your muscles. Usually I'll write quiet, but if I have any meditation music playing, I'll write meditation music. I also set intentions before I go to sleep. If I want healing, both my body and emotions, if I want to feel energized, rested, guidance in my dreams, if I have any specific questions that I want answers to from my dreams, and then I always do remember as mental intentions. I find that I have a bigger impact if I just remember it than if I write it down. And then I write down my energy when I woke up. I do a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being I feel so exhausted and I wish I could sleep more. 5 being I feel so energized, I can jump up and down and I feel like I'm on top of the world. Average, I'm between 3 to 3.5. Sometimes I'm a 2, sometimes I'm a 4. I never usually reach a 5. Once in a while I'll reach a 1, but that's kind of like every once in a while. I also journal what times I got up to use the bathroom. I have a very extensive menstrual journal just to really get to know me, how I work, and my cycle. I also set 1 to 3 intentions for the day, and that's on the form as well. So a lot of the time I will want an amazing day, or I'll want a productive day, a smooth and easy day. Once I'm done journaling, sometimes I'll use ChatGPT to decode my dreams, but usually I try to be done my morning routine before I get further into my cell phone. Every once in a while, I will click and I'll scroll and open Reddit and see if there's any notifications, or I'll answer a message, or sometimes I just get caught up in that doom scrolling on my phone. However, I do actually have a time limitation on all social media. I have 10 minutes for TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, and then dating apps I have about 3 minutes, and just anything that I use that is not healthy for me, I have a strict limit. Every once in a while I will bypass it to either just scroll for another 15 minutes or to post. If I do scroll for another 15 minutes, I try not to beat myself up about it because my time limit is only 10 minutes, so it's not too bad, but it also stops me from feeling so guilty and like I've lost so much time time of my day. So once I've done the journaling, I will make the bed and then I'll stretch either sitting on my bed or like next to it, and I'll use my bed or my walls, my dressers, my hutch and vanity to help and aid my body in stretching to really just give me a different technique. I do usually set a 5-minute timer as well, just to make sure I know how long I'm doing it for and to focus on moving my body, because naturally when we don't move often, our body becomes stiff, and then when we move it, we become more liquid, and typically a lot of tension and pain is released. Once I'm done that, I have a physical journal and I have affirmations. Now I do stick to chakra affirmations. If you don't know what chakras are, I do have a video in depth of what they are, how to heal them, how to balance them on my channel. But a brief little description is they are the energy centers within our body. There's 7 main ones down the center of our spine, and then there's over 200 smaller ones all throughout our body. When I discuss chakras, I do refer to the 7 main energy centers. They're connected to our emotions and our physical body. And there's also external ways like food, yoga poses, affirmations, aromatherapy, herbs, so many different ways that we can heal them. If you're interested in that, definitely check that out. It's already in my description in this video, and it's also on my channel as well. But I have 7 pages. Actually, technically I have 14 because I had affirmations that I used for the past few years, but then I wanted to change them, so now I have 2 different sets of them. I'm using the updated sets, and then sometimes I'll go back to the old ones. I have a small spiral notebook that I do the affirmations on one side, and on the back of the side I do gratitude connected to those chakras. Every single day is a different chakra. Monday, root chakra. Tuesday, sacral. Wednesday, solar plexus. Thursday, heart. Friday, throat. Saturday, third eye, and then Sunday, crown. It works perfectly, and the affirmations and the gratitude are always connected when I do the chakras. You don't have to do it with the chakras. You can seriously do any sort of affirmations. You can either write them down and just copy them every day, or you can just intuitively write down what comes up. I find timing wise it's a lot easier to have them written down though. And on the back of the affirmations that I use, I have what's connected to them, both emotionally, energetically, and physically. The layout is just thank you, chakra, thank you, body, thank you, and then I always focus within. Usually I try not to do anything outside of myself because it truly shows me the abundance of health and wealth that I actually have that I can be grateful for. The layout is I usually put the date and the time, and then I keep track of how long it took me to get through the affirmations. I write like 7M for minutes. Usually it takes between 7 to 10 minutes for the affirmations, and then for the gratitude, it used to be about 5 minutes at the latest, but I average about 3 to 4 minutes. Same thing, I keep track of how long it takes for me to get through writing it. I do my best to stay focused and present when I'm doing the affirmations and the gratitude. Now you can also verbalize them when you're writing them or after, but I usually just think them, but once in a while I will physically verbalize them. So after I'm done that, I head downstairs and then I will take 1 tablespoon of benefiber powder and I will mix it into about 15 to 20 ounces of water. I mix it up. It's a powder that dissolves. It should not have a taste if you use the one that I showed on the screen. Some of them do specifically have a taste though, and if you use an off-brand version, it might taste really horribly, but usually the one that I showed doesn't have a taste. It just tastes like water. This helps to bring hydration in your body. It helps also to have regular bowel movements, and it also gives you fiber as well, which helps with the hydration of your bowels. I usually always do water, but you can do tea, coffee, but I really recommend doing water because water, as soon as as you wake up is great for you. A lot of people do not get enough water that they should be to help heal their body. Once I'm done drinking the water, I will brush my teeth. I will actually brush my teeth, and then I brush my gums around and the roof of my mouth, and then usually I brush my tongue as well. Rinse that out. Then I use a metal tongue scraper to scrape my tongue. I used to use plastic, but I really try to limit my plastic usage because there are small plastic particles that are released and are really harmful for your body. So I use stainless steel for my water and metal for my tongue scraper, and then I use glass containers for water or tea and when meal prepping. After I'm done using a tongue scraper, I floss my teeth, and then I use mouthwash for about 60 to 90 seconds. Once I put that away, I wash my hands, and then using the wet hands, I wet my face, and then I use Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Cleanser. I use that once, dry my face, and then I use the native aloe and niacinamide for my moisturizer. I also have a breakdown of healthy skincare products as well as hair care and body care on my profile. I can put the link in the description as well. But this just helps to get any dirt and debris from overnight off of my skin. It's a great way to start my morning, and it helps me to feel refreshed and rejuvenated. Once I'm done that, I usually change and pack my bag. It just depends on if I'm going to work or if I'm going out anywhere, or I just want to chill and have a indoor day where I do stuff. Some habits I want to start incorporating is every hour I get up and I stretch for about 5 minutes. I can do yoga, I can do breath work, or I could just do some sort of light movement to help move my body and to get any tension and pain out. A lot of the time I will set specific time aside for me to focus on myself, whether that's coloring, painting, doing breath work. I also love incorporating essential oils with smelling, using breath work, just breathing in through your nose deeply and then out through your mouth, exhaling, allowing that tension to get released. You can pair it with visualization of either bright white light coming through. You can do a protective barrier around your energy. And then at the end of the day, I will brush my teeth again, doing the same order of brushing my teeth, the tongue scraper, floss, and mouthwash. Then I get a shower. I always wash my body. I break it into small areas: hands, forearms, arms, shoulders, chest, upper back, lower back, abdomen, private areas, thighs, legs, and feet, and face. And I break them into smaller areas, and then I spend 20 seconds washing that area, because when you wash your hands for less than 20 seconds, you're not fully cleaning your hands. So I'm very mindful when I wash my body. I try to be present. I try to be aware of how it feels, both physically washing and internally of how it feels when I wash my body. But I really focus on doing 20 seconds each area, and then I rinse it off. Some people double cleanse when they do that. I usually just do one cleanse of my body, but then when I wash my face, I cleanse once, and then I wash my ears, I wash behind them, I wash my neck and back of my neck, and then I'll rinse that off and I'll use the same cleanser again. I always use the same cleanser, Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Cleanser. I just like the way that it feels. It's healthy and it's clean. I'll apply that on my face a second time, but only my face. I don't double cleanse my ears, my neck, or behind my ears and neck. Then once I get out, I will pat my face and then dry my body so I'm not freezing cold. And before I even get in the shower, I always have my outfit picked out, so I'm not walking around with a towel or naked looking for what to wear. It's easy, simple, but once I get in my room and I'm dried, I moisturize moisturize my entire body from head to toe, and I always clean my ears. I use a Q-tip. I don't really know how else to do it. I know that like there's that dropper that you can do, but then you have to sit with your head like this for like 5 minutes. Well, maybe less, like 1 to 5 minutes. That's just really inconvenient. But I try to like not just shove the Q-tip in my ear. I kind of like lift and twist a little and like be gentle with my ears. But I clean them every day because I'm washing my ears and then there's water in there. So, and I moisturize my entire body just so I don't feel dry. Then I will sit down and I will do all of my journals. I will do my menstrual journal. I'll do my schedule where I write everything I did that day just to keep track of, well, my life in general. But the menstrual journal, I keep track of it on my notes on my phone, and then I'll write it down in a physical book. You don't have to copy it into a physical book, but I would rather have one that I can open and just look at instead of scroll. It's just personally better for me. I do a food journal as well. Throughout the entire day, I will take a picture of everything I eat and drink, not including water unless it's the Benefiber. And then I'll write down the date, the time, and what I ate. And then some of the time I'll have like measurements if I have the exact measurements, but I usually don't focus that much on there. This helps to keep track of what I'm eating as well as how I'm feeling. And personally, I deal with comfort eating and lack of self-control with food. So I will write down after I finish all the food and the drinks, I will write down if I took any medication of medical marijuana, because I feel I lose self-control when I take medical marijuana. So I'll put like, well, I don't smoke anymore. I actually did quit smoking for my health, but I'll put 1 edible or sober, and then I'll have medium self-control, low self-control, high self-control. I will have stress rated low, medium, or high, and then I'll write down my appetite, low appetite, medium appetite, or high appetite, hungry early but not throughout the day, or hungry later in the day and super intense. I will just explain my eating habits, and it really helps to keep me on track of my nutrition, how I'm feeling, and how I'm doing with self-control. Lastly, I write down skincare. I write down the date and the time and then what I use. A lot of the time it will just look like April 4th, 2025, 9:15 a.m. Neutrogena Cleanse and Native Moisturizer. 7:30 p.m. Neutrogena Double Cleanse and Native Moisturizer. Sometimes I'll write down just an arrow when I use the same thing over and over again. I'll always write when I exfoliate, what I used, and then I'll do a little line or two of how my skin was that day. Was it clearing? Was it congested? Was it soft? Was it dry? Did I have eye crust in the morning? I find that every once in a while I'll have like eye crust like right there or there, or just like dryness that is around my eyes in the morning, and then I'll write that down. I don't always have that, so it's good to keep track. Did I do something different that night that might have brought that into fruition? It's amazing to keep track of this information so you know how your skin is reacting to everything you put on it, as well as when to exfoliate. You don't want to over exfoliate and then hurt your skin barrier that protects your skin, or under exfoliate and have all of these dead skin cells just fluttered on your skin. It does not have to include a pre-cleanse, a regular cleanser, a serum, a toner, a moisturizer, SPF, all of this stuff. It can be simple, but it's still good to track. I personally have been doing this for years. I'm gonna be honest, it does take a lot of time and effort, but it's worth it. If I don't keep track of this stuff, I am neglecting myself, and I feel angry and irritated because I'm not taking care of myself. I do write it down every single night just to keep track, so I don't have to be like, what did I do 3 days ago? And you can't remember everything you did. Sometimes I'll write in my notes, did today, the date, and I'll write it all down in my notes. notes, so then I can just copy it in my schedule to make it easier. As you go along, you'll find what works for you. Some of you may stick to physical journals only, and some of you may stick to online only. It's what works best for you. It's really a trial and error thing. Just kind of go along, adapt, see what works for you and what doesn't, and figure out how to make it the best and the easiest for you, because this is how you can keep track of yourself, your life, your habits, and to create better ones if you don't like the ones you currently have. That's gonna end this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this resonated. I will have all of the links in the description, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.